to go create a new Padlet, and you'll have a blank page. If you click on the gear, you'll want to put a title in. So for your topic, you might do something like that. And then give some kind of direction or something in the subtitle. That's where the description is. It just shows up smaller. And then you might want to change, so you've got this basic wallpaper, which might be boring for your topic, so you can change the wallpaper to be something fairy tale like the roses. There you go. If maybe you had a picture of your own that you want to put on the background because it relates to the topic in some way, so maybe you're teaching about skyscrapers and you have a picture that has skyscrapers in it, you can, there's a city one that looks like that, but you could add your own by clicking there and just navigate to where you have it saved. Okay, so I'm ready to build. So if I'm a student that has the link and I'm on your page, I would just click wherever, maybe type my name, put my story, and then Michelle, she goes in and she'll type her story, and then Martha is typing and she puts hers. So be careful. You can warn your students that as they're all posting simultaneously, if that happens, they'll see each other's and just move where they want to put their post on the page where they won't be on top of each other. So one neat feature, if you have students who finish before others and they can do something extra, they might want to connect a picture to what they write. So in the box, you've got these three options. You go to website, you can add a picture that you saved, and I've done that. So on my desktop is where I saved Goldilocks being friends with the bears. And there's my picture. Your other option, and I want to show you this too. So if a student goes out of their box and they want to go back in, they just click the pencil. And then I've got my options again, and then I can type again, correct my spelling or something. If you're using a tablet, you'll have access to this camera feature. So if students want to take a picture of each other, they could. If they drew something on a piece of paper, they could take a picture of a scene or something and add that to the box as well. So that's what that third option there is. Alright, so maybe the teacher, when you're sharing it, you don't want it in this free form view. You can go back to the gear and change the layout to be a grid, which will put them horizontally, like 3 or 4 in a row. Or you might want to stream it. And that's really nice, especially in presentation when you have pictures or websites that you're trying to share with the group, or you just want everyone to see a person's answer one at a time. Looks really nice like that. Now, I have it set, the privacy is set for any student to be able to write. So I get to edit any box because I'm the teacher. They wouldn't have that gear like I do, so they'd just be able to type their own box and only edit their own box. You might have the privacy set to can view only. You might decide to do that if you pre-make some of your boxes with resources or pictures, and I'll show you an example of that in a minute, but that's why you might want to just have it set to view, because you don't want them to change anything on the page, you just want them to access items on the page. Moderate is really nice if you have, maybe you preset boxes, but you want them to add to them. So something like, from here, maybe Martha is going to add to my story, and she'll be able to do that if the page is set to moderate. So she'll click on the pencil and add ideas to my box. Or maybe you have a link to an article or something and you want the boxes set to moderate because you want students to put in summaries of what they thought or something like that. I like it to be able to preset something, and maybe you set up all the boxes with everybody's name, and so they know what box to go to, and there's no question about where on the page because it's already set there for them. So that's where moderate would come in handy. next thing you're going to want to do is get the link. So you go to address, and it'll give you the complicated one with all the numbers and letters, but you can pick your own. So if I had Mrs. King in with her 3rd grade class, maybe that's what I want to name the page. And so you'll have your domain. Ours is HCPS Tech. That's just your account at the domain. And then you can add in the rest of the address, and it could be easy for students to type. So maybe I pick that one, and then that's what's going to show at the top of the page for students to type, or if you want to copy that to someplace like Edline, they can get to your page pretty easily. So that's the basics of just what you can do with a page that way. But to give you an example of something Michelle helped teachers do at Fountain Green Elementary, they wanted their students to research Bethany Hamilton. And so they set it up like this with pre-made sources, and it was only set to view, so students would only be able to access these things. So the first one was just a video that if students had headphones, they could watch it at their own pace, or the teacher could play it for them and then talk about it. I thought it was gonna play. No worries. So then I can exit out of that. Once they watch the video, the teachers set up a link to another Padlet. So they could go to the full Padlet page by clicking on source, but you can see how they had it set to moderate because they had a box for every student's name, and then if I'm Randy, I would just go to my box and click on the pencil. And then they had an article for the students to read from Scholastic. And again, you could click on the source just to be on the full page, which might be easier for them to follow. And then from there, my little X, they would have the same thing where they link to a questions article Padlet. Okay, so that's the basics. And just so you know how to delete, you're going to start getting a list of everything that you created. So I have already done, I did another one because I made my video way too long. And when I go back to that, if I'm ready to delete it, you just click on your gear and click delete. Yes, it's fine to delete. There you go.